Okay, we're going to take a look at our multiplying and dividing by 1 and 0. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our 14.4 do it now. Looks like this. Remember, you just have to do the top. Make sure your name and number is on everything. And what we're going to do first is we're just going to take a look at our do it now and make sure we remember how to multiply by our tens. We've done our 2s, 5s, and 10s, okay? So when we multiply by 10, we just leave that 0 in our ones place, and then we just multiply our tens place. 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, so 9 times 10 would be 90. 7 times 10, we leave that 0 in the ones place. 7 times 1 would be 70. And then 11 times 10, we leave that 0 in the ones place, and 11 times 1 is 11. Okay, we're going to do one more together, and then you're going to have 5 on your own. So 5 times 10, we'd leave that 0 in our ones place, and 5 times 1 would be 5. So my answer would be 50. Okay, all right, so you're going to complete your do it now on your own for the rest of that. We're going to take a look at our worksheet that goes along with this. So at the top, you have a hundreds chart. You're going to fill that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to challenge you to try to get that filled in 2 minutes. So have your parents or somebody around you start a timer to see if you can fill in your hundreds chart in 2 minutes. Make it a game, make it fast, okay? So in a minute, you'll have to go in and you'll complete this top part. You're going to number it 1 to 100, okay? All right. Now, we're going to take a look at multiplying with 1 and 0. Now, anytime we multiply a number by 1, it's just going to be that number that we multiplied by, okay? So 3 times 1, it's by 1, so it's just going to be 3 is our answer, okay? So 3 times 1 is 3, okay? So anytime it's multiplied by 1, it's just that other number, okay? And anytime it's multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. Okay, so 11 times 0 would be 0. Okay, so anything that's multiplied by 1, it's just that other number. Anything that's multiplied by 0 is going to be a 0. Okay, so 5 times 1 is going to be 5. 8 times 0 is going to be 0. 10 times 1 is going to be 10. And 1 times 0 is 0. That is one that will trip you up a little bit because we just said anything by 1, but it's still that other number. So it's 1 times 0 is 0. Okay? You're going to have 6 more to do on your own to complete afterwards. So make sure you set that timer to go back up and do your times table, your hundreds table. And then down here, you're just going to fill in the rest of that. Now, we're going to take a look at the worksheet that we've been having, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the identity property first. When 1 is a factor, the product is the same as the other factor. So remember, our 2 factors make up our product, okay? We have 2 factors that make up our product. So the 2 factors are the numbers that are being multiplied together, and the product is our answer. So when 1 is a factor, the product or the answer is just going to be that other factor. So 1 times 8, 1's a factor, so my other factor would be 8. My answer is 8. And then, like we said yesterday, it doesn't matter what order, so we can switch it and say 8 times 1, which would still equal 8. Okay? So let's take a look at this. 1 times 9 would be 9. 6 times 1 would be 6. 4 times 1 would be 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 7 is 7. And 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, when 0, okay, so you're going to do line 2 on your own. So that should look like this. You should have that top line filled out with me. You're going to do line number 2 on your own. Now, 0 principle, when 0 is a factor, the product is always a 0. So one of our factors is a 0. The product or the answer is always going to be 0. Okay, so 0 times 4, 0. 0 times 8, 0. 0 times 2, 0. 9 times 0, 0. Okay, I want you to finish those last 2 and then finish row 4 on your own. Guys, that bottom part should be super easy for you, okay? All right, let's take a look at the back. It says use the key to color the picture of the Eiffel Tower. This is what I want you to do in order to be successful, okay? I want you to first go through and solve all of those problems. I'm going to show you what I mean. 1 times 3 is 3. So I want you to go and I want you to solve it and write that answer so you know exactly what you're coloring. So you're not going to color anything until you've completely answered all of them. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 9 is 9. 8 times 1 is 8. You're going to go finish that tower. All in the middle here, you have your zeros, okay? So 0 times 3 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 9 times 0 is 0. But then you have a 9 times 1 in there, so that would be 9. 0 times 2 equals 0. 7 times 0 is 0. And 6 times 1 is 6. So we have done everything up until that Eiffel Tower on this side we've done. You're going to complete that other side on your own, and then you are going to make sure you go back and look at the color codes. So you're going to need a yellow crayon, a blue crayon, and a green crayon, or a marker or a colored pencil or something, okay? And you're going to have a pretty picture of the Eiffel Tower when you're completed. But first things first, you're going to go solve all of those problems before you even begin coloring. Just like in class, I don't let you color until you're done. Have a parent or somebody check your answers before you color, okay? Make sure you check that. All right. It says, ordinal position. This is something that we really didn't get to this year, but I'm just going to talk through this. So this gives us direction. These ordinal directions give us directions on how to find something. So we are going to follow directions and start at the box. So you're starting at the donut box. So everybody put your finger on the donut box because that's where we're starting. Good. Okay, it says draw a box around the 5th donut. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like a sprinkled donut. We're going to draw a box around it. Just like this. So that's sprinkled donut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Then it says circle the 12th donut. So go back to the box and count again to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my goodness. It's another sprinkled donut. So we're going to circle that one. Okay, does everybody see that? We're going to circle that one. Okay, it says now underline the 9th donut. So go back to the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is like an orangish color donut. We're going to underline that, okay? And then the last one, it says put an X on the 20th donut. So go back to the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's the last one. So we're going to put an X on that last one. Now, you could have been thinking, why did we go back to the box every time? Well, sometimes that would just be easier to go back and count. But if you noticed, if you were on the 5th donut, you could have just kept counting to the 12th donut. So 5th donut, then you would say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you can do that, that's fine. But if you need to go back to that box, to your starting point, that is fine too. Okay? So do your best work. There's going to be 2 videos today because I want to explain something else, and then you will be able to begin working on your work. Okay? So check the other video for more information.